Good boy, landing canter. Hi, I'm Cathy Wieschhoff. Welcome to my event training facility here at Carriage Station Farm in Lexington, Kentucky. Good boy. I first started riding horses when I was 5 years old. My mom rode Western and she wanted us to ride, and so I rode my first horse when I was 5 years old. Did a little bit of barrel racing and pole bending, as much as you can do as a 5-year-old. When I was 6, we borrowed the butcher's pony, and I was able to start Pony Club, which is a great organization for kids learning stable management and riding and how to take care of your horse. So it was a fantastic opportunity for me. And I rode in my first event when I was 10 years old, and the rest is history, so to speak. When I first decided I wanted to, go to the highest levels was actually in 5th grade. And I'll never forget writing down what our goals were for the next 10 years. And so I wrote down that I wanted to ride in the 1980 Olympic Games. That kind of came and went, and that didn't happen, but that literally, when I was, I think about 10, 12 years old, was when I decided I wanted to compete at the upper levels. And then as I started teaching, I just really found out how much I love to teach and how much I was passionate about my sport and how I do it and what fun it can be in training the horses and bringing them along, and how passionate all the other people in the world are about riding their horse. I mean, here at the farm, it's a family here. I mean, everybody comes out and they love their horses, they love the progress they make with their horses, and I feel that and help them achieve that, and they get that from me, and it's a great relationship. Why did I choose eventing? I'm not sure that I chose eventing. I think my mother chose it for me. I think she enjoyed the sport. It was what people did, and it was a sport that was more prevalent in Pony Club than dressage and show jumping, even though those two sports are very prevalent now. And I think it was the fact that you didn't need a fancy horse, and it wasn't about who your trainer was. It really was it's about you and your horse, and you go into the dressage arena and you don't have anybody telling you what to do while you're competing. And you walk your cross-country course, and you don't have anybody out there helping you while you're competing. And the same thing with the show jumping. I'll never forget having a lesson with working with a show jumping trainer and doing a show jumping round about 4 or 5 years ago, and at a show jumping competition, and he's talking to me while I'm riding, and he's like, "Cathy, you weren't even looking at me or listening to me." And I said, "Because in my sport, we're not allowed to. I mean, it's called unauthorized assistance. You're out there by yourself." So I think 3 things. My mother liked the sport, and so she led me in that direction. The fact that you're doing it totally on your own, and also the fact that you don't need a super fancy horse and have to have a super fancy trainer. Any horse that can walk, trot, and canter and jump can go do the sport. And so that's kind of what got me into it and why I stayed there. The CW event team is actually me, Cathy, and all the horses that I ride and train, all my students that I train. Here at the farm, I train horses to do the sport of eventing. I train people to do the sport of eventing. We practice all 3 phases: the dressage, the show jumping, the cross country. And it's just the whole place is geared towards improving yourself, improving your horse, to make you safe out there eventing, because it's just the exhilarating feel of finishing cross country is why pretty much all of us do it. The challenge of having the horse be obedient and submissive and attentive in the dressage so that we can take that to cross country is also why we do it. And then that elusive show jumping round where you want it to be clean, you've got to keep the nerves settled, is also another reason why we do it, and those are the objectives that I help people with when I'm training. For the horses, the farm here is peaceful and tranquil. I've had many people walk into the barn and say, this place is just so quiet, and the horses are all so happy here. We have great fields for turnout. And the fields, again, we use also to ride in to practice conditioning, how to gallop up and down a hill. We've got the cross-country facility, lots of ditches. Horses don't like ditches. Riders don't like ditches, banks. And so the cross-country training exercises are all at the lower levels, because even when I'm training for advanced level competition, we do not go practice advanced level cross-country fences. I train all levels of riders and horses, from people that are just learning how to jump to people that are going advanced. I feel that the methodology in my training is that we need to learn to ride on the flat. And once we get the flat work and the dressage situated, we take that to the show jumping, so that you're doing your dressage work over your fences. I have a saying, the jump just gets in the way, and I joke the title of my book is it's not about the jump. It's totally about preparing your horse to jump, and then the jump just gets in the way. And then once we're comfortable with all those exercises, then we go to the cross country, and then we go to riding on up and down hills. And it's all a methodology and a practice that lets riders and horses be successful in this sport of 3-day eventing.